So we're going to do this a little bit backwards. We're going to do some work with the wording first today, and then we will look back at the math part of the assignment, the calculation part. No, you weren't to do it on a calculator. When you work with numbers to add, subtract, multiply, or divide them, that is called doing calculations. First, the words, compatible numbers. We didn't talk about this as much, so we'll skip it at first. Remainder. A number close to an exact value. The result. It's part of the result, but it's not the entire result of division. Number that is left after one whole number is divided by another. So that is where this answer should go. I am done with remainder. I don't want to forget that, so I'm crossing that out. Dividend. I know that Miss Yoder taught me the divisor is over here and the end of the little fellow is over here, so the dividend is the inside number. Doesn't really tell me that, so then I need to look at what else it might mean. Is that the number that is being divided? Well, let me put it into a story. I had 6 cookies, and I want to divide them among 3 friends. So the 6 would go inside to be divided. So the number that is being divided, is that the dividend? Yes, it is. So your number 3 should go right down here. Your word dividend matches that definition. Not a very good definition, but oh well. Estimate. I know estimates are where I get an answer in my head that should be close to the exact answer. That matches a number close to an exact value. So the estimate goes up here. Quotient. Again, Miss Yoder taught me. Here's his visor, here's his head, there's his end. If he is saying something, that's his quote. His thought bubble goes up here. The answer is the quotient. Result of a division problem is a quotient. Hopefully it makes sense then to say compatible numbers are numbers in a problem that are easy to work with mentally. Yes, that's when you get basic facts with zeros. Those are compatible numbers. If you looked these up in the back of the book in the glossary, you will have them correct. If you did not take the time to do that, there are some that would have been trickier. For instance, this also sounds like it could be talking about an estimate or compatible numbers, because those are numbers that have basic facts with zeros, but you've done some changing of them. But this is what they were looking for as far as the answers to the book problems. Now I said we would get into some work. Well, first of all, instead of going through the long division and showing you the answers to page 268, here is what you were supposed to come up with. What I want to focus on today is checking the answers to see if the quotient times the divisor indeed leads to the dividend. So we're going to check number 4, 11, that's the quotient, times 73, that's the divisor. There was no remainder, so I know this answer should come out to be 803. Let's see if it does. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. 0 as a placeholder because I'm now in the tens. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 1 is 7. Add those. 3 and nothing is 3. 3 and 7 is 0. Carry the 1. 1 and 7 is 8. Lovely. Comes out to be 803. Oh, let's do eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Let's do number 5 again. So 13 times 76 should come out to be 988. 76 times 13. My goal is 988. 3 times 6 is 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 7 is 21. Plus 1 is 22. 0 in the placeholder. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 7. And I don't add that. 1 times 7 is 7. Why didn't I add that? It was carried over when I multiplied times 3. But now I'm with the 1. 8 plus 0 is 8. 2 plus 6 is 8. 2 plus 7 is 9. And that does indeed match. So 13 times 76 is 988. 11 times 73 is 803. So good reminder to double check multiplication and division. You only have one math problem today. The math problem you have today is a story problem. It shows up in the checklist. It says that there is a graded assignment to send, and then it gives you the story. It tells you photograph all your work to solve the following problem. A florist has 1,311 roses. How many bouquets of a dozen roses can be made? A dozen means 12. So you're going to take your 1,311 roses. You are going to divide them into piles with 12 in each pile. They want to know how many piles, in this case bouquets, of a dozen roses can you make? How many piles can you make? It also asks you to interpret the remainder. That's a really good clue. There should be a remainder after you take 1,311 divided by 12. You should have a remainder. So the question is, what is the remainder? What is left over? If you started with 1,311 roses and you put them in piles of roses, what will the remainder be? Will it be daisies? Will it be dollars? Will it be bouquets? What is the remainder if you take your 1,311 roses, put them in piles, and yet you have a few left over? So first of all, what is the remainder? And then what is to be done with the remainder? So this story should be done on a sheet of notebook paper. Make sure that you show all of your work, your 12 times tables. Do those on paper as well as the long division. But then there should be a sentence or two at the end telling how many bouquets can be made, telling the amount of remainder, but then what that represents, not just a number, but a number of what that's left over, and then tell what to do with the remainder. That is the graded assignment to be sent. It should be plenty of space to do it just on a sheet of notebook paper. Thank you very much.